So I just saw The Suicide Squad, and it was really good. This is from James Gunn, writer and director of the Guardians of the Galaxy films, and Super, which is highly underrated, and I would very much recommend. To no one's surprise, this is a massive improvement over the 2016 film. James Gunn manages to write everyone to where you understand why they're in prison, but you still root for them, which I think is pretty cool. It's not done like the first Suicide Squad, where they kind of cop out on them being villains in the end. Idris Elba is the main character of the movie, and he's actually pretty mean for the first act.
No, fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you!
He's very similar to Will Smith's character, except he's much better written. John Cena is great as Peacemaker, who's kind of this like twisted Captain America type. His back and forth with Idris Elba is one of the best parts of the movie. King Shark and Ratcatcher are great too. Sylvester Stallone does a really great job in the role as the shark. My favorite probably has to be Polka Dot Man. He's definitely the funniest character in the movie, also being very sympathetic and likable. Harley Quinn and Rick Flag return, except this time you actually care about both of them and they're not annoying. Harley Quinn has a significant amount of scenes dedicated to her, and it does kind of slow down the pacing a bit, but it doesn't ruin the movie because you actually like her and she's actually entertaining. And they don't just spend the entire movie sexualizing her. She has scenes that are like humorous and fun, while also giving her character some much needed development. Viola Davis is also much better in this film than she was in the last. They kind of use her character to contrast with the insanity of the rest of the film, and it really makes her stand out. The dialogue is funny and sharp in an intentional way this time.
Skatana! She's got my back! I would advise not getting killed by her. Her sword traps the souls of its victims.
As far as problems go, I'd say I wish there were a little more time spent with the characters. Not that they're like underdeveloped or anything, I just kind of wish there was more of an equal balance between like the time spent on the Starro storyline and the time spent just with the characters. Like there's this great club scene where they're all just kind of hanging out and not really doing anything, and I kind of just wish there was more of that to really make you care about them. I also thought that the emotional moments weren't as effective because they were always cut off with a joke, and I could understand this happening like 1 or 2 times, but it happens a lot in the film and it can get kind of annoying. It's not a deal breaker because the movie's pretty silly for the most part, but a part of me still kind of wishes this was just a little bit more emotional than it was, but that's not a huge deal. The movie's still really good. Overall, I would really recommend The Suicide Squad. It's definitely the best movie I've seen this summer, and I'm kind of sad that not a lot of people are seeing it apparently. I don't know if that's because of the Delta variant or because they put it on HBO Max. But either way, it's still pretty sad. If you haven't seen The Suicide Squad, I would highly recommend seeing it in theaters, and I give this movie a big thumbs up.